I'm pretty sure you'll see with my doll title. It's about Prejudice Views on Doll Collecting. Today I have Miss Marisol. Her magnet is so far up, so the pacifier. That's another thing I have to fix with her. Um, so this is Miss Marisol I brought with me to join me today. I had an interesting talk because actually recently a friend of mine, a BFF, introduced me to a friend of hers, and she seems pretty cool and she collects dolls. She's more into Barbies as opposed to me, who's more into like baby dolls or anything like that. Even though I do have a few Barbies in my collection, but I decided to talk about the prejudice of doll collecting. Funny thing is, one of my friends who I follow and we follow each other back, Lolly Frequency, um, covered. Apollo, you want to be a part of it? Come. Come, come, come. Say hi to everybody. Come. Hop up. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to Marisol. Kiss Marisol. Say hi, everybody. That's Apollo, everyone. My monster that you see in the video. So, she spoke about the prejudice of doll collecting and how people frown upon it. So this week, as you know, I'm trying to look for a place, a bigger place, because some dolls I'm giving away, some dolls I'm keeping, and some dolls I'm selling. Only the dolls that I really want I'm keeping. So my mom and I got into an argument over that, and she was talking about, well, you collect these ugly dolls, blah 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 blah, calling my dolls ugly. Um, they take up space. They're a waste of money. You're like a child. La 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 la. And my mom, who's overly critical of every goddamn thing. So I told her, yeah, I collect dolls. There's no market for dolls out here. Oh, it's completely pretty much saying it's worthless. And my thing is this, there's a market for everything. And the fact of the matter is, people feel because your interests are different than theirs, they also feel a need to be just so damn negative. Like, she's not the first person that said this to me. I've had people tell me, you collect dolls? That's weird. That's this, that's that. And it's even to a point where some psychiatrists are trying to say that people that collect dolls have mental health issues. I remember I was watching on what's it called? Hey folks. Okay, I'm back again. Sorry about the connection. I remember I think it was Stephanie in Love with Reborns years ago when she was on Dr. Phil, and her and a few other reborn doll artists who were explaining why people like reborns and all sorts of stuff. And I think even Dr. Phil and her psychiatrist on there was trying to say that's abnormal, this and that. And my thing is, just because it's not your your cup of tea, that doesn't mean it's abnormal. People have their likes, people like what they want to like. If people can collect cars, can collect vintage magazines, can collect perfume bottles, which my mother does. She collects perfume bottles. After the damn bottle of the contents of perfume is used, based on how the shape of the bottle is, she keeps it. People can say that's a load of junk. But you talking about my dolls, and oh, they're ugly. Well, they're ugly to you. They're a waste of time to you. They're not a waste of time to me. It's a hobby. Now, granted, I've told her there are plenty of people on social media that have made a career out of this, they've made a market out of this, and have built a following on this. Now, granted, I don't have the luxury and time, given my life and given how busy I am, to quote unquote do it full time like that, because I still have responsibilities and things to maintain in my life. But I do what I do. And another thing too, my following isn't just only on dolls, it's on music. I post things of what goes on in hip hop. I talk about spiritual stuff, me going on trips to the botanicas and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's about a variety of things. So she's like, well, you know, those ugly doll babies take up space, and they're ugly, they don't mean anything. Well, if they don't mean anything, excuse my French, why the fuck do you care if I like dolls or not? If they don't mean anything to you, they're of no value to you, why do you care? Why do people seem to always want to comment on things that they claim has nothing to do with them? You know, you collecting perfume bottles is weird because it's empty. It's empty glass. Yeah, the bottle of the perfume's beautiful, but it's nothing in there. And as much as you're talking about being a hoarder, that's considered hoarding. Why are you hoarding empty bottles of perfume? That's weird. But whatever, that's what you like. You know, but people have this frown about you collecting dolls like, "Oh, and you're a grown-up collecting dolls." And so, actually for a while, what my mother fails to realize, she was collecting dolls too. Back in the days when before Laurel Town Center became Laurel Mall, they had, it was Laurel Mall. And we used to buy up these porcelain dolls that the Dollar General would sell. And she would keep most of the doggone porcelain dolls for herself. And then she eventually gave some to me. I had some, and that sort of thing too. But now collecting dolls are stupid and there's no market for them. Okay, you don't like dolls because you had a creepy, ugly doll and a bad experience with them when you were a little girl. That doesn't mean I happen to like my dolls. Now, not every doll I like, not every doll that I take or do this and that, but that's what I like. And you spent a lot of money on these dolls. Yeah, a lot of my money. Not your money. My money. Why are you pocket watching? Like, you talk like my dolls are gonna come alive and do something, and maybe they should. Maybe they should come alive, tie you up, and duct tape your mouth. Maybe they should. I mean, I would really appreciate if they did that. But I digress. But yeah, people have this stigma with folks collecting dolls. They think it's weird, they think it's strange, they think it's not normal, but it's like, you know, people collect things. I don't just only collect dolls, I collect crystals, where she's complained about my crystals too. Well, your crystals don't mean anything. If they don't mean anything, then leave them the fuck alone. Why are you bothering them? You know, they're crystals. Apparently, it's doing its job if it's annoying you, because that's what it is. Crystals, certain crystals are to repel negative energy. And since you are the negative energy that is complaining about them, then maybe it's doing its job, repelling you. Well, you should take the crystals. I'm not taking them anywhere. I spent good money on that shit. I'm not doing anything. So, yes, even when I get my place, I'm going to set up a place for my crystals, set up a place for my altars, and all sorts of things. So she said, well, when you get your place, how are you going to rearrange your dolls? They're going to be all in your room? Again, I said, what does it matter to you? They're not going to be in your house. They're not going to be under your roof. So how I rearrange my dolls in my house is of no consequence to you. Why do you feel again to mind business that isn't yours? You know, people, I've had all kinds of comments from people. And mom's like, oh, you need to grow up. Oh, you need to grow up. That's really childish that you keep dolls. No, what's childish is your closed mindedness. That's what's childish. They're dolls. They're not going to hurt you, dear, unless you had a terrifying experience as a child. One maybe one tried, I don't know, maybe one did come alive and attack her. I don't know what the deal is, you know, and really, it's not my problem. But the fact of the matter is, I like my dolls very much. I put in time and effort. Now, granted, dolls are not a need. They are a want. I don't need this doll. I don't need any of those dolls. But I want them, and I like them. I like them very much. and I do want to keep them. Now, most of my dolls, especially my artist made dolls, let's just say one day, especially dolls that I bought off of eBay that are from a rare collection that come with a COA, let's just say one day if I decide I want to sell them, I can get something for them. That's another reason why I hold on to the COAs. So you saying that the dolls don't mean anything and there's no market for them, that's a lie. You don't know anything about that market because that's not your interest. Your interest is in, I don't know, I guess, minding business that isn't yours, as I told her. You know, you're spending money on these dolls. What do you care? When I spend money on the groceries and rent and other shit, stuff that we need and get you, rent, grocery, and all that stuff are needs. Dolls are not. But me having a pleasure of liking my dolls is my thing. My mother orders constantly from Temu. I understand she's trying to be a survivalist, so she'll order survival stuff, stuff that you need. But this isn't shit you're using. You're not going out into the woods or anytime, anywhere soon where you're going to use a compass or where you're going to use a fire starter or any of that shit. So why are you ordering it? You're not going to use it. You're not using it anytime soon. But there again, like, granted, now I still have a lot to do with my dolls. Like, I haven't really driven around town with them or did little outings with them like most people do on doll channels because, yeah, it's still a stigma and I'm still a little uncomfortable with walking around with my dolls without people having something to say or without people saying, oh, she's a little off, she's a little weird. Yeah, granted, I have some insecurities about that. I'm not gonna lie to you people. I'm not gonna lie to you folks. I have some insecurities about that. So I take it one step at a time, but I like my dolls. I don't see anything wrong with them. I'm not gonna take all of them. Like I said, some I'm giving away and some I'm selling. But the ones that I like Marisol, I'm not giving her away. She's staying with me. Yes, you're staying with me because I happen to like her a lot. Um, yeah. But if you can collect artifacts, like another thing too, she bitched about me collecting statues. And you're collecting statues and pretty much accusing me of being an idol worshiper. No, I collect images, I collect stuff like that. You know? But anything that has nothing to do with her, that isn't of interest of her, she has a tendency to attack. People have a tendency to attack things they know either very little of or they don't understand. Which is why there are a lot of people out here targeted, there are a lot of people out here bullied, there are a lot of people out here murdered, and there are a lot of people out here walking around with hates, prejudices, and stuff because, again, you attack something that you don't understand, you attack something that you don't know. And this is what I seem to run into when it comes to people say, oh, you collect dolls? How weird. How weird, how weird. What I think is weird is constant judgment and criticism of what people do. What's weird is minding business that isn't yours. I think that's also weird. You know? There's a lot of people out here that are very unhappy with themselves and unhappy with their role in life. So they feel the need to always want to cast stones at people instead of just cleaning up the shit in their house and getting right with themselves. They want to go pick at someone else. Oh, you play with dolls. You do this. You do that. You need to grow up. I need to grow up, says the lady that collects empty perfume bottles. And just like my dolls are a luxury, your perfume's a luxury. I don't care how fucking fancy it is. I like perfume too. I have a bottle of Versace perfume on my dresser as we speak, and I barely use it. Big ass bottle of Versace perfume. Okay? Now, mind you, perfume's nice. We like it. We like to smell good. Yada 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 as women. And just like some men like to smell good with cologne. But it's a luxury. You don't need perfume or cologne to fucking smell good. It's called jumping your ass in the shower or bath with a bar of soap, a washcloth in some water and cleaning yourself thoroughly and putting deodorant on, that's what you need to smell good. You don't need fancy fucking perfume to smell good. But that's what you like. Am I bothering you about that? No. Alright. It's a lot of noise upstairs, folks, so. Yeah. Alright. Okay, folks, forgive me for that. My mother interrupted me, but like I said, folks, you like what you like. You know? I like what I like. I'm not ashamed of my dolls. I'm not ashamed of any of that shit. I can care less. You know? Now, one day I'll get confident enough, and hopefully I'll meet more doll friends. Like, I met Taryn this week. She's a friend of my BFF at her job, and she collects Barbies, and, you know, she's gone through crap where people have said things to her, you know? And my thing is, I like what I like, you know? You like collecting perfume. You like, pretty much, I'm gonna be for real with you with my mom. I don't know exactly what she likes other than just walking around like she's a bougie, snobby little bee. Okay? I don't know really what she likes, you know? But that's you. That's your energy. Now, is everything about a doll with me? No. But that's what I like. That's what I find the joy and comfort in. You know, to pass time, you know? You know, because I moved around so much as a kid anyway, so a lot of dolls that I liked, I had to either give away, or I outgrew them, because there was a period in my life where I wasn't into dolls at all. Just moved on to just doing girly shit, being a teenager. Like, I was into getting my hair done, makeup, lipstick. I'm still into that. But there was a period where that's all I cared about. That and my figure, you know? Especially in high school, you know, you're worried about your figure blossoming and all of that. So my concern wasn't really too much on dolls, even though I had little porcelain dolls here or there. But you get my drift, folks. Look at Marisol. Sorry, people, my binky doesn't fit properly. You know? But my thing is this. She's talking about, well, where's your money going to? Well, my money's going to my dolls. It's a collection. I still have my Addie doll. My original Addie doll. I have to fix her up because she's in bad shape. Since 1992. I was a kid. You know? In the early 90s. I was born in the 80s. Mid to late 80s. Grew up in the 90s. And still have my damn Addie doll. Okay? Now that doll I'm never going to sell. Okay? I'm never going to sell her. I don't give a damn what someone offers me. No. She's going nowhere. I've been through hell and back with that doll. Okay? But, oh, and that's just a waste of money. Yeah. As she was saying, or as people say, you know what's a waste? You. People always wanting to complain and find negativity in something. That's a waste. You know, that's a waste. It's not cute. Like, again, I'll specify it. Having a doll or dolls are not needs. Because a doll cannot provide food, shelter, transportation, or any of that, mind it. So I'm very coherent and understanding of that. Okay? But at the same time, I like what I like. You know? Damn. At some point in time, my mother was collecting toy cars. Did I tell her, ew, why are you collecting toy cars? That's for boys. That's childish. No, that's what you like. So why don't you leave people alone and let them like what they want to like? Sometimes what you have to realize, folks, there are a lot of people out here that can't be who they are. And I think I realized that with my mother. She can't be who she is. Because my mom has been this person always stuck on whatever people thought, impressing people who really aren't worth a damn, who really bring nothing to the table for her. She lives off of the opinion of others. And personally, me, I refuse to have other people's opinions run my life. I'm trying my hardest not to, anyway. And some people, they're not happy with who they are, and they see you being happy and in your space and enjoying what you like, and they want to shut that down. They want to shoot you down for that. You know, and cause problems. There is a lot of people out here miserable. I even noticed that on the social media. I've even noticed that on, like, for instance, I like football, right? One of my ex-friends, who is a female, you like football? Why do you like football? I cannot just say I like football to impress a guy. No, I like football because that's a family tradition. I like football. Me liking football has nothing to do with me impressing the opposite sex. I like football. I like sports. Now, even though I'm not so good at playing them, I like them. I like watching football. I like the Super Bowl. That has nothing to do with me impressing a dude, chick. There are women out here that like sports. If there are women out here that play sports, there are women out here that freaking like it too. I like video games. I used to play video games like hell in college. I've had girls, you play video games? Yes. I play fighting video games. I'm not a Call of Duty person. I don't really know how to play Call of Duty, but I play fighting games. I like Tekken, Soul Calibur. I was a Namco princess. That sort of stuff. Yes, I like video games. People really. And I don't mean to sound irritated, but I am, because I know we're all judgmental to a degree, but as long as I'm not doing anything sick out here, you shouldn't worry about it, okay? Me liking dolls is not sick. I'm not doing anything sick to dolls. I'm not doing anything off the norm with a doll other than maybe changing their clothes if I have the goddamn time and fixing their hair up. That's weird. That's weird. I fix them up and put them on display in my room, or they sit in the closet. Now this big baby that I have working on, which is a rapper inspired baby. Yes, it's a Joseph Awake baby. Big fat little chunky boy. I don't know where I'm going to fit him. And hopefully soon, by the time he's done, because it's gonna take me a while to pay him off. I told my artist it's gonna take me a minute. And on top of that, he's coming with an animal. So yeah, his own pet. Go figure. Anyway. But yeah. I like what I like. And people just really just need to just shut up, Just shut up. I mean, there are people out here that like politics. There are people out here that like dolls. There are people out here that collect wine bottles. There are people out here that collect books. I also like books too. I like a whole lot of things. My phone's going off. I'll have to text these people after my live. I like a lot of things too. You know? So dolls are not just only my life. It's not that I can't live without my dolls now. If something happened to them, would I be sad? Yeah, because I put my money, time, and effort into them. Because that's what I like. It's just like people collecting art. But no, you collect dolls, people give you this little bullshit stigma. Hey, you like dolls? Oh, shut up. You're a grown woman that likes dolls? You're a grown up that likes dolls? Yeah. A lot of people in my family collected dolls, mostly porcelain dolls they collected. But this a doll is a doll, But that's people. People always feel the need to make their little bullshit comments on what you do in your life with your spare time. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's weird. You know what I think is weird? People being so close minded. People being so ignorant. People being just so fucking involved in other people's lives about what they do. How about you just mind your business? You know? A lot of people out here find it hard, and people like my mother have a struggle seriously with minding their own goddamn business. Really. That they have to complain. Why are you losing sleep over what somebody the fuck else does? Answer that. Riddle me that, Dr. Seuss. How is that taking away from you? How is that adding to you? Why do you care? I don't mean to curse so much, folks, but, no, people like that agitate me. Folks that always want to talk about somebody. Ew, look what that person's doing. Look what that person's doing. Ew, why don't you mind your business? Why don't you shut up? That person's not bothering you, so why don't you leave them the fuck alone? I don't mean to have a potty mouth, folks. I honestly don't mean to. You know, but I've been wanting to do this. My mom and I got into this fight Thursday, and I should have made this video sooner, but I've been so tired and preoccupied with, me being with the responsibilities in my life, but, and then trying to, look for a place to move and all this stuff. Yeah, I might rent. I mean, I was looking at apartments, but I think I might want to rent a house. I think renting a house would be best because I think these little people need room. And like I said, I'm not keeping the dolls in my room because that takes up too much space. And I'm not having dolls have the run of my house and have the run of my private den in which I sleep. So they need to have their own room. They need to have their own room, their own space. I'll put them on stands or whatever, or little stacks, stack them a certain way, change their outfits or whatever, but they need their own space. But yeah, I don't mean to get upset, but yeah, my mom and I did get into a heated argument a couple days ago over this. Because simply, what I don't like are overly opinionated people. People think by being overly opinionated, oh, I'm just being honest. Sometimes your honesty comes off as being brash, brazen, obnoxious, indignant, ignorant, rude, and downright disrespectful. I don't like people who come across very asshole-ish, bitchy, and cunty-like. Because, and also, too, being overly opinionated can be just straight up sarcasm. Straight up sarcasm and disrespect. And there's some people out here that cross that fucking line. And sometimes my mom does that. Well, I'm just giving my opinion. No, you're giving a very ignorant opinion. That's what you think. It means nothing to you. Collecting dolls means nothing to you. It does not mean other people don't agree with you. Speak for yourself. What I can't stand are people who want to talk like that, but they don't want to single themselves out. You want to include other people. Other people aren't talking. You are. So why don't you just talk about you and stop looking for other people to scapegoat about how you personally feel? Just, I don't know, folks. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I mean, folks, whether you collect dolls, you collect cars, you collect magazines, you collect, shoes. Like, a guy I talked to on and off, speaking of that, told me, well, don't you think it's weird that people think you collect dolls? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure they do. And I said, don't you think it's weird that you still hold on to when you buy fresh sneakers, you wear them, you take them off and you put them back in a box? Like, why are you keeping the boxes? Like, boxes attract rodents, roaches, ants, and stuff like that. Like, why don't you just throw the ants? Why don't you just throw the box away? But that's what you like. You have a shoe collection, and there are a lot of people that have their little shoe collection. That, yeah, that's another thing too. My mom likes shoes. Shoes. You know, I like shoes too. You know, she likes those high heels. I like stilettos. I like high heels. I mean, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I wear heels. I wear heels because they're nice, but I also wear heels because I have a height complex, people. Maybe I have Napoleon complex, okay? I'm not the tallest person out here, but I'm not the shortest either. But heels make you look a little more sophisticated, so I wear them. But yeah, whatever you like to collect, people, collect them. Give zero fucks about people's opinion on what you do. Because these are people out here that always have an opinion about what somebody does. 9 times out of 10, they're not doing a damn thing. They're not doing a damn thing. They're not doing a damn thing productive with their time or anything. But sitting here wasting time, judging you for what you do. You know where your money is going. And your money is going on your collection. My money's going where it needs to go. You know? Isn't that right, Marisol? You know? It's going where it needs to go. And I like it. You know? Like I said, some dolls I have that I can give to my nieces. Dolls that I really don't want. Like the Behringer doll that I found yesterday that has like all this writing on her. I'm gonna have to really, I have my work cut out for cleaning up that doll. So the lady that is doing my doll, my Joseph Awake doll, I might send her an email and ask her if she could reborn her. Not I like the body. Keep her in a vinyl body. But you know, bring some realistic features. You know, I'm already paying for this big fat ass baby, and I know it's gonna cost a lot. So me paying for a little baby for her to reborn is nothing. But yeah. That's what I'll do. You know? This Joseph Awake kit is actually very big. She has a small oven, so she said his thigh more than likely is going to have to go one in at a time in the oven because he's big. I actually saw the actual Joseph real-born baby. Him awake and him asleep. That was a big boy. That's a pretty big baby. You know? And this is going to be a big boy. And I don't know what I'm going to deal with him when I get him. Hopefully I'll be situated when I do get him. Because his fat butt's going to need all the space he could get. Okay? With his giant head and his thighs. The boy's leg looked like two humongous drumsticks. Okay, folks. Well, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna be out, folks.